Welcome. I'm Sebastian Mahfood, and you're listening to WCAT Radio, the on-air wing of En Route Books and Media, bringing you the dulcet sounds of Catholic wisdom.
Welcome to the Catholic Mama, where you'll learn how to deepen and defend your faith, find comfort as we share the vocation of parenthood, and learn how to raise your children confidently Catholic. I'm your host, Christine Mooney Flynn. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to the Catholic Mama. Hope everyone is having a fine morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whenever you're listening to this episode. This time around, I once again have back the guest that everybody keeps asking again and again for. My husband, Pat. Hello, husband.
Hello, wife.
The people have spoken. I don't know what people. I'm just assuming.
Well, you are actually legitimately one of the most requested guests on my show.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
I think people just want the truth about Pat Flynn, and so they think I'm going to deliver it.
Yeah. Well, you might have a chance tonight. We'll share. I'll share this on mine so people can hear it.
Yeah. So this is our anniversary week.
Oh goodness.
I know. I forget. It's me that forgets. Actually, the only reason I remember most of the time is because I get Facebook reminders. And then at some point, somebody gave us a gift. It says, the Mooney or the Flynn household founded, established, whatever. And it has the date there. So that's helpful. But here we are. I'm saying week because we were married twice in 1 week.
Well, we were actually married 3 times.
But twice in 1 week.
That's right. And divorced 0 times.
I think that's a pretty good run.
That's a pretty good track record. In case anybody, since this is obviously going to be an episode about relationship.
Yes, we should note that.
The proof is in the pudding.
Right. We've been married 3 times. Never estranged.
Divorces in between.
Or estrangements. But we've been sticking it out.
That's right. Just keep getting married.
It's just such a good time.
And again and again.
Now, the first time we got married was just kind of silly. It was quickly in the Philadelphia airport. Right before a flight.
Yeah. The old legal ceremony.
Right. Because we were getting married, or having our ceremony out of state and didn't want to ruin our vacation by going to a courthouse and getting paperwork done. So
married under the eyes of Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam and the TSA.
Yeah. And then when we were in California, where people talk about life force.
Yes, they do talk about life force in California.
We had our more official ceremony, right? Yeah.
We had some family showed up, and then we had a reception afterwards, but that doesn't count as a wedding.
A little beef brisket. It was nice.
When we came back.
Oh, yeah.
We had another party.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Goodness.
Yeah, 4.
I don't think that counts as a 4th. There were toast family. People toasted us.
Yeah.
There was wine. We went to a wine tasting room to kind of bring back the California winery experience to our East Coast family and friends.
And the life force.
We must have done something. I mean, there was a huge earthquake right after we left. So it was our love that just shook the earth. It was so powerful. And then,
devastating love.
So we had this kind of the silly one in the airport real quick. People were watching. It was very embarrassing. We were eating like egg muffin sandwiches or whatever right before our flight. Then we have the ceremony, like the more typical wedding thing. And then 4 years later, we got our marriage blessed.
That's right. Under the eyes of God.
Under the eyes of God in the Catholic Church, in front of mostly strangers, but my parents happened to be there and our kids.
Yeah, so it was just in a daily mass. It was, what was it, a Monday?
Easter Monday.
It was Monday, yeah.
So I got baptized Easter Vigil. We celebrated Easter Sunday, and then Easter Monday we got married.
Yeah.
In the snow. It was snowing. Of course it was, because this has been a weird weather year.
And people were delighted. They were not expecting a wedding.
No, they were crying.
Yep.
They said it was very emotional, very beautiful. I thought it was very nice.
Yeah.
It was very unexpected because we didn't even know it was going to happen. We thought that we were just going to get the marriage blessing at the father's office.
Yeah, a little something on the
something
side.
quick. Yeah. You're blessed. Go.
Yeah.
But it was a whole thing.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Till death do us part, or whatever the typical vows are. I never in my life thought that I would be saying, in sickness and in health, because that was, old spiritual, not religious me. That was just a little too traditional. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it really was. It was my favorite out of all three.
Yes, it was most meaningful.
Yeah.
The food was better at the second one. Because I don't think we had any food at this.
Did we go to breakfast afterwards? I don't think
I don't.
Yeah, not as memorable.
We had leftover
the
Easter.
after occasion was not as memorable, but the event itself was.
Yeah.
So married 3 times, divorced none. Pretty good.
On a good track record.
And you want to talk about how we do it? What keeps us together? I suppose. Right? Is that the topic today?
I guess.
You know how we have seemed to make this thing work. Now, it has not always been stellar. We've certainly had our rough patches, so we're not claiming to be perfect here. But it has.
Well, you might not be. No.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Perfect husband. Please continue.
But it has significantly. I think we've done a significantly better job. Even just this past, these past 2 years, I feel like so much has gotten better and improved. And it's not to say that before that we were always, fighting or on rocky ground. We always had, good, strong periods. But the thing to me is when, and I think maybe this will be the theme of the episode, is when we had the toughest times is when I felt like we just lost some common set of values in my estimation. I mean, what brought us together at first, and maybe it would be worth it just going through our history, was obviously we met in the gym, and I solicited your attention, and you accepted the solicitation.
Not willingly at first. Let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
I had a health fitness column in a local paper, and through my day job, I knew of a woman who worked at the Dragon Gym where you were.
Yep.
And she talks about kettlebells, and I was struggling to find something to talk about in my next column. And so I decided, I'll go and check out kettlebells. And I didn't want to go to the gym that night. I was tired. I just want to go home. But I pulled into the parking lot of the gym and I saw my friend's car from work. So, okay, well, she's here. I'll go in. Well, it turns out you had the same exact car and she wasn't there. It was you, much to my disappointment. No. So I, and I think when you found out, you wanted me to write a story on you.
That's right.
And I told you that's not
my
what I did.
story is you wanted me to write a story on me or something. Yeah.
You're just going to twist that around? Okay. Well, and I told you that's not what I do, but then you said, I'll train you for free. And I said, okay. So truth in journalism. I was bribed into writing a story about you. Somehow we had to go out to dinner for me to write a story about you that I wasn't really going to write or something.
This is all, yep.
And I had no intention on this going anywhere. You were very persistent. And I realized later on that I watched you selling gym memberships to somebody, and I thought to myself, he basically used those same tactics on me to make me his girlfriend.
We closed the sale.
You certainly
married
did.
3 times, closed it 3 times.
Such a strong selling. Yeah, you're just such a strong salesman. How could I say no 3 different times?
Yeah, well, you interested me. You had those funny shoes on.
The Vibrams?
The Vibrams. That got my neat, which, I grew out of those. They smell.
You can't get rid of it. Even when you wear the toe socks.
Yep.
It's impossible.
Yeah, so they're they're the shoes with the toes, and I'm sure everybody's seen them, and
they're comfortable. I like wearing them, but they're
kind of a pain to get on. They're kind of a pain to get off. You know me. Excuse me, a little.
It's probably the garlic pizza
tonight. Yeah.
If you follow me on Instagram, I just posted a picture of the 4 pizzas that I made from scratch, and one of them had an obscene amount of garlic in it. And it's a good thing that Pat and I are married, because I don't think I could pay somebody enough to sit next to me right now for the amount of garlic that I've consumed. So it's the covenant. You have to.
Yeah. So continuing along. Well, yeah, I mean, we don't have to bore people with all the minor details, but we obviously had something very in common at the start, which was fitness.
Right.
That was a quote unquote core value of ours, and that was very important to both of us, and so on and so forth. And that kind of, I think, helped stabilize a lot of our relationship. But as I've certainly come to believe now, that's not enough of a core value.
No, I mean, yeah, valuing your health is a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Not just, I like working out.
Yeah.
So we clearly had that in common. So that was good. It bled over into the way we eat together, and, our activities tend to be more wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
But, as we saw when I got pregnant with our first, I was knocked out by morning sickness, and suddenly I couldn't work out really, and we lost that connection.
Mm-hmm.
And that was tough.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So I think if somebody were to ask me, and I guess I don't know if you're asking me.
Sure,
It'd be
I'll
weird
ask
if
you.
you asked me what the secret to a
What's the
good
secret?
relationship is. It has to be a set of shared values. It does. And I think it also matters what those values are too.
Sure, if you value drinking alcohol together in a bar, well,
yeah. Because
you can find somebody who will share those values, but maybe that's not the recipe for a lasting relationship.
Yeah, and this comes down to, I think, some basic virtue ethics is, things aren't good just because you desire them. There are things that are actually good that you should desire. And, you could share values that are actually not things that are valuable, that might actually be quite detrimental. And you might get along with somebody around that, but then when somebody decides to sober up, and I know people who've had relationships like this. It doesn't typically work. I think arguably my own parents were based off of, just kind of fun times. Right. And it didn't work. My parents are divorced. It didn't work. They had no other shared values. They had almost literally nothing else in common except for that they like to go out and drink and have fun,
yeah.
and that's it. And I watched the ensuing carnage over the years from that. So certain values are definitely better than others, but I think that there's one value in particular, which is the religious and spiritual, that is the highest value and the most permanent. So I have very much come to believe in that. Yeah, marriage is. It's a trinity. It's me, you, and God, and that is the ultimate stabilizing agent. It's what is really the binding agent that I think has given our relationship much deeper meaning and significance. And
there's something to work towards.
Yeah,
I know that if we're arguing, there's a reason for me to put my ego aside rather than, I just should do that. I guess I can end this fight. There's a reason because there's God.
Now, so this is a hypothetical we're arguing.
We never argue.
Have we ever done that?
No.
Because I'm trying
my
to
fingers are crossed behind my
I'm wondering if we've ever actually, obviously we've had some minor disagreements in our day.
Is that minor? That's an interest. Is it opposite day? No.
But yes.
But I think on top of having the shared values, which I agree with, I remember my mom saying years ago, don't meet somebody in a bar. I mean, you can meet somebody in a bar, but what are you actually going to have in common? Figure out what your passions are and go find somebody doing that. If your passion is kayaking, go kayaking. If you love reading, go to a bookstore, go to book signings, whatever it is, whatever, I don't know, join books online. I don't know. But yeah, so don't just assume that. And it's for anybody, young or old, you feel that as soon as you get some drinks in you, you start to feel special and beautiful or handsome or cool. And you think this is all there is, and whatever connection you have with somebody is magical and will carry over, but it doesn't. Not in the long run.
Yeah, and we were both fortunate because at the roughest times when I think we grew the most apart, I think that is the danger. The true danger in any relationship is that slow or maybe even sudden drifting away of one person starts to not share that whatever the original set of values were, or they adopt new values and they just grow apart. We were fortunate in that we both converted. Well, me reverted, you converted,
and course corrected.
Yeah, and course corrected, and it was significant for me in a couple of ways. One is it transformed, or at least increased the amount of Christian love that I had for you. Now, I always had the Christian love for you. So, there's a couple different kinds of love. C.S. Lewis's book, The Four Loves, is really good on this. You have companionship love and friendship love and romantic love and so on and so forth. But the greatest love is Christian love, which is willing the good of the other for other. That's the kind of love that God has, right? Which can be expressed in many forms. It's not just getting snuggly. It's not just telling somebody that they're pretty all the time. It's doing whatever you really believe is best for another person because you love that person and want what is best for them. And, whatever that is, you have to, be prudent about that. But that's the kind of love that helps you drop the ego when you're having a minor disagreement of sorts, right? Whereas if you're just on that kind of snuggly romantic love, it's not enough. And at least for me, when we came into the church and we got married in the church and we really started to develop ourselves and commit our lives, as it was that other and greater kind of love that increased, not just for you, but I hope of trying to make it for everybody, but it's obviously easiest to practice it with you.
You have to. We're together all the time.
Now, I'm not going to agree with everything you say. We're not at that level yet.
Not yet.
But that was some of the thoughts for me. So, the two biggest things that I think have most helped our relationship and making it more meaningful, more stable, more enjoyable, more fun too, by far, through our conversion experience, was this new set of shared values, something to work towards together, that we both have a deep, passionate love interest in, and also this other transforming and development of the Christian love, agape, as they say.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Look at that. We're agreeing.
Amazing. Proof's in the pudding again.
Let's get married a fourth time.
My wife agreed with me.
Let's get married a fourth time. Why not?
Yeah.
It's been a couple months.
Let me see if this tea is too hot. I have tea, everybody.
One thing that I would add about having a shared set of values, and I heard this years ago, and I do agree with it, is to find the right person. You're not really looking to find the right person for you. You need to be the right person. So you need to, actually, so somebody was just mentioning that a priest had told them, just you run to Jesus. You just keep running to Jesus. And as you're running, look around and see who's running with you. Then associate yourself with them. So you try to be the right person. You go after Jesus. You keep him at the center of your life. And as you become that person, you will either attract others to you that share those values, or you will just weed out the ones that don't and orient your life correctly.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because, so much of bad relationships are, trying to change the other person. And you can never really change another person. But God can change people if people are willing to let that happen. And if two people are willing to let themselves be changed by God together, well, then that resolves that most fundamental problem that so many relationships suffer from is, I don't like you this way. Change, which is never going to happen. So I like it. The priest put it much more eloquently.
Right. Run to Jesus.
Yeah.
And then look who else is running. And
that's good because I think that this has happened substantially in our case, where certain things about me that you might not have been so happy with, and looking back, you had every right to not be happy with it, I think have changed. And we don't have to mention any of those particulars.
I have a list.
There's a list, but would you grant that premise?
Wait, are you saying that I've let things go, or you've gotten better?
No, I'm saying I think I've gotten better.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I don't, yeah.
But you definitely have, too.
Let things go?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It is a hard effort.
But I don't feel like, again, it was by none of my criticisms, which neither of us have been short on criticizing each other in the past. It is through that conversion and us letting God do the changing work within us that has, I think, helped our character development, which has only made us more compatible and enjoyable to be around.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, I was just thinking about this the other day. If I had tuned in to anybody talking like this about keeping, running towards Jesus or letting God work his way within you, keeping God at the center of your marriage. I probably would have balked at this and angrily
Done the old
X'd
like
out.
teenager, put your finger down your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that we're here, it's absolutely true.
Oh yeah.
And it's amazing. I'm still every day I'm amazed of our conversion, that this even happened.
Oh, it's
So,
true.
It is.
Believe it, folks. It is true.
But it's insane, you know. And every day actually most nights yeah, that's stupid. There's a meme that goes around, or some kind of just Pinteresty looking saying like, "Oh, what if you woke up tomorrow only with the things that you were thankful for today?" And man, that
I've
thing
never
is,
seen that.
You haven't? Well, I've seen it, and it's stuck with me. And so now every night, I thank God for all of us and our kids and the house and health and that stuff.
Lola,
I do, and I ask God to take care. Our Saint Bernard, I ask God to take care of her hips as she ages, because I know they're starting to bother her. We have 100. She was 105 pounds, and then she was 110 pounds, and she might be creeping up.
I think she's creeping up a
In
bit.
her old age.
She's laying right here.
Yeah, she's
so
like
soft and sweet.
Yeah, she's got the best tail. Anyway, so I'm very thankful, and I just say thank you for bringing me back to you, because it has transformed the way I am as a wife.
Mm-hmm.
I struggled in the past of being compassionate towards others, and I'd be like, that's their problem. They deal with it. They're the weak ones, you know. So if there was something about you that bothered me, that's your problem. You fix it. What do I have to do with this? Even though I'm in here with you, it has everything to do with me too. Either I can help you nicely through whatever you're working through, or I can just step back, be compassionate, understand that you are God's creature just as much as I am. We're all in this together. We're a team. All that hokey, you know, stuff.
And Lola.
And Lola. But it's made me a more compassionate wife. I think I've been able to let things go a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
And faster. I hold grudges. I don't think I hold grudges anymore. I mean, not for long.
Yes.
I mean,
not like yes, like that you do. Like, yes, it has been a marked
dramatically
improvement.
Like within half an hour, I will apologize for something. That is, folks, that's huge.
Yeah, it would have said that like 2 years ago that would have ever happened. I would have laughed as hard as I would have if you would have told me that I would have been a Catholic.
Yeah, I'd be angry for days.
I would have been in equally disbelief over both of those. You know, so I don't know if there's anything, you know, more to specifically about that. Do you have any other thoughts?
Oh, did you have something else you want to talk about?
Well, I just thought, you know, some other things that might be worth talking about is the dynamics of our day to day, and I think you know, other things that are helpful or useful or that I find interesting and meaningful in our relationship is that we have this core stabilizing force in our life. We have our faith. So you know, like that alone is definitely enough. But we also take an interest in each other's interests, even if we don't fully participate in those interests ourselves. And I think that is also a good thing. And I think we've always done a pretty good job of that, of taking an interest in each other's interests.
Yeah, I've always listened to you when you talk about something.
And you do a lot of things that I am not good at, and I don't even really want to be good at, like cooking. But I take deep interest in your cooking. I love that you cook.
You love to eat.
I love to eat. So, I mean, that's kind of an easy one. I don't want to make it sound like I'm super virtuous because I love that you cook me good food by any means. But your writing, your fiction writing, I've always your writing in general. Now, I am not a fiction writer, but we always had kind of writing as a similar interest. So we did have other interests, or fitness too. I'm trying to think of some interests that we share, that we support each other in, that we aren't also interested in ourselves. We do share a lot of interests, which is helpful, and I think we develop a lot of interests together. Yeah,
because I think I love to learn, and so do you. So, one of us brings home a book and starts reading it and talking about it with the other, and suddenly that person's like, "Oh, that's really interesting," and we just kind of start snowballing from there.
Especially if they are, I have the Pope here.
Oh, that's your book. Yes, one of many.
Pope Benedict. Yeah,
we have many. Our home is quickly overflowing with books.
But that is
so
kind
we're
of a
big
fun
readers,
thing.
yeah,
So many couples, I think, struggle with just finding things to talk about. But I really enjoy asking you what you're reading and what you're learning all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I learn a lot from that because we're often reading like similar stuff about, spirituality or faith or you read other stuff and I read other stuff. But I always enjoy hearing about what you're learning and studying and doing.
Yeah, our lives are very intertwined. Whether or not it was our intention from the start to do this, you have your business, and somewhere along the line, over the past nearly decade, I started helping you. I remember I can kind of remember the first time I said, well, I could help you a little bit if you want. And lo and behold.
Now you are the chief mega brain.
I'm the chief mega brain at Chronicles of Strength and all the...
Chief customer care.
Director of customer care and effort.
That's right.
Customer
That's the
care and
title.
effort. Yes.
Very corporate-y title you gave yourself.
It's one of the, yes, it is a corporate title. Yes.
Yeah. And that's always been big. And look, it's definitely we've encountered struggles with that before.
I have said I don't like working for you many times, because your styles is very different than mine.
Yeah.
But your habit is to forgive and try to be better. You're very good at trying to improve yourself, actually. You take criticism very well. I don't. Marginally better and all this. Maybe a little bit. And I tend to forgive and just put my head down and keep working. I just kind of plow forward because I like work. Yeah. So that I think that we've been able to work, but we're not a couple where you go off to your job, I go off to mine. Our lives, especially now that I'm a work from home mom, our lives are
very intertwined.
Very intertwined.
But we also, and this is important. And one, you do like working for me sometimes.
It is interesting work.
Yeah.
And I do like connecting with people. It's a joy to me to see people say that we've changed their lives or seen the transformations that they have and the things that they're able to do now that they have their health back. It is very meaningful and wonderful.
It is. But we also spend a significant amount of time apart, which I think is...
Throughout the day. We have never spent a night apart since we've been married.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. No, we definitely have. Because which is crazy that I can only think of one or maybe two times when we have. I went Eric's bachelor party.
We weren't married.
Oh, we weren't married. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, maybe we have.
Yeah. We've never spent a night apart since we've been married.
There you go, folks. That's the secret.
I would like to spend... I'm excited. One day I'm going to take myself and go to a spa weekend, and you're not going to be invited.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a heads up.
Prep me some food.
Yeah, I'll prep you some food.
Okay.
Right.
Then, fine, fair enough. But yeah, so at least
during the day,
because I'm always, I have my routine.
Yep.
You have your routine, and then we really converge. And I think this is an important thing is, and you deserve full credit for this. Family dinner is like a sacred time. We that is when the work stops. No matter what, everybody comes together.
No phones.
No gadgets, gizmos, or any of that nonsense.
We go around the table. We ask everybody how their day was, what their favorite part,
what they learned.
Yep. It's very important to me. Family dinner, but food is very important to me. Anything around food. It's not just, I eat very fast, oddly enough, for all of that. It's my talk about how much food means to me. Anything around food is a great equalizer when you sit and eat together. And that's very important to me. So that's, and I always grew up, always family dinners.
Yeah, and that's something I didn't always have growing up. So I mean, it's
even though we do eat out a lot, but it's always family.
It is, yeah.
And even if I feed the kids for whatever reason, there's our scheduling conflicts, you have to go do something at night, or I have plans, whatever it is. If there's like a night or two in a row where we don't eat as a family, that feels really weird.
It feels wrong.
Yeah. And back we go.
Yeah.
Even though it's not easy. We have young kids. It's not relaxing. It's not a relaxing.
Yeah, not always. It's sometimes a pain in the butt, but it's
got to be done.
It's important. It's tradition.
You set that expectation that this is what happens.
Ritual.
Big on it.
And so I mean, the biggest things here is that core set of values, taking an interest in each other's interests, and making time for just us too. I think we do a pretty good job at, especially with the fact that, I mean, we just went on a date. Was it last night?
Last night. And that was our second in a week.
Yeah. And just stealing time away whenever we have 3 young kids. So it's not the most convenient
No,
or
but even
easiest
the
thing to
fact
do.
we are members of the YMCA, we put the kids in the childcare area, and the two of us go for a walk.
Yeah, and it's and that is like it. Like, don't feel that you have to like arrange for like the fanciest thing to get away and spend time together. That's one of my favorite things to do. Actually, we just go to the Y. They have the childcare is included, and we just can spend an hour walking and talking.
It's wonderful.
Yeah,
These micro things, even if you don't have an hour, but these micro moments that you just catch yourself, and you're much better at it than I am, especially when it comes to I don't know what's really hugs and kisses as you go through. You're better at remembering that. I'm like whizzing on trying to get chores done.
Oh,
but that's great because you stopped me.
Mushmallow.
A mushmallow. You
Yes.
are kind of a mushmallow.
Accepted.
And I'm a bull.
Mm-hmm.
I just bull around and get chores
You're
done.
receptive, though. You're
I am.
receptive.
Yeah. I just have to be drawn out of myself, which is
Yeah.
good. So I think naturally we complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
If we can also butt heads quite well, but we don't do that. I'm just saying in theory, we never fight, but in theory, but hypothetically,
it could happen someday.
we would be great at arguing with one another. But you're great at helping me let go of my anger. We are compatible anyway. We do have a lot of shared interests and values. We've been able to grow together, but the thing really is that since we've converted, we've been better people in general in all of our roles. Sons, daughters, husband, wife, parents, whatever it is. We have a sister, brother. We've become better people across all the many relationships that we hold.
Yes.
More compassionate, understanding, gentler.
Yeah, the conversion has not only deeply improved our relationship, and I know for me in my life, with the kids, with my own parents, with your family, everything. I mean, Christianity really is the greatest form of humanism that could ever be conceived. Not only the inner workings it does within you, but the framework it provides of how to interact with other people.
Which it doesn't make it easy, but it makes it simpler, right? So here's the plan: follow it, do it.
But God helps. He really does. And there's been things that we have done and that I have done over the course of this that I would never have done before and never have even thought about doing in terms of like just talking or restarting relationship with certain people or strengthening relationships that I thought were just dead or gone. It really has been amazing, not just with us, but just
every relationship. So I think, as a parting piece of advice, I would say if you are looking at your relationship with your spouse or significant other, if you're looking at a relationship that you have with a family member or friends, I think the best thing you can do is probably re-examine your Christian faith, see where the gaps are and go after those. Because if you can remind yourself why you believe in Christianity in the first place, why you are a Christian, you can recenter. Because, I mean, even if you think that God is at the center of your life, once you do an audit and see maybe where some gaps are, you'll see that maybe it's a little off kilter. Reorient your faith. And I think it all kind of falls away at that point.
And to that, I would say, amen.
Beautiful. Well, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on again. I always enjoy talking with you.
I will await for the next invitation. I will keep my eyes on the inbox.
It's the only way we communicate. We actually don't talk in person.
Email.
Yes, we are actually sitting in separate rooms right now. No, doing this by phone.
Folks, don't forget, subscribe to the Catholic Mama. I gotta do
go ahead.
my old podcast. I'm so used to doing mine. The Catholic Mama. And dads, gentlemen out there, it's hip. You can listen to this. Trust me.
Not just for moms, dads, families, grandparents, dogs. Lola. All right. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave a review. It would mean the world to me. Thank you again. Don't forget to head over to thecatholicmama.com to get your free copy of How to Talk to Your Kids About God. This handy little ebook will teach you how to broach the topic of God with your children or how to respond to your kids when they want to talk about God. as well as give you answers to 7 of the trickiest questions about the faith that Christian parents face. You'll love the easy-to-understand grown-up answers, the pared-down but not talked-down answers you can share with your kids, plus recommended resources if you'd like to deepen your understanding of the topic. Get yours free at thecatholicmama.com.
We hope you enjoyed the program and will join us back for another show on WCAT Radio. This is Sebastian Mahfood. Good day.